Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope everyone's had a great Thursday. I think it's Thursday. So, not many people know this about me, but I'm a huge fan of Pixar movies. I don't know, they're just great. I love watching them. I love watching them in theaters too. I'll pay the $10 however much it is to go see it. My favorite Pixar movie ever is Up. Now, Up is my favorite because it conquers a lot of themes and ideas that I can relate to and that just speak out to me. And for those of you who don't know the story of Up, here's just a quick summary that I can give you. So there's a man, his name's Carl, and this woman named Ellie. And they grow up together as kids, and they fall in love, and eventually they get married, and then their ultimate goal is to go and get this house in this place called Paradise Falls. It's this awesome waterfall-looking thing. However, there are several things that come throughout their lives that prevent them from living this dream together in Paradise Falls. After Ellie passes away at an old age, their home gets surrounded by skyscrapers, gets urbanized, and a few inches away from being claimed for eminent domain, Carl decides to honor the memory of his wife, and he attaches a bunch of balloons to his house, and somehow the house comes out of the ground and he flies away. I don't know how the physics work on that. T-Type can talk about that later. But so along the way, Carl meets this Boy Scout and a talking dog, and they have a long adventure where they overcome many obstacles on their journey to Paradise Falls. So today, I want to talk to you guys about the struggles of life and purpose. Now, still talking about Up, throughout his life, Carl had to overcome a lot of struggles. He and his wife went through the emotional trauma of a miscarriage. They had a dream of going to Paradise Falls, but then the everyday struggles of life got in the way. You know, you need to fix the roof, change the tire, whatever else normal adult things are that happen. So they were never able to save up enough money to make it to Paradise Falls. But finally, towards the end of Ellie's life, Carl's able to buy tickets, and he wants to go present them to her, but then she falls down, it's a sudden turn for the worse, and ends up in the hospital. And like I said earlier, she passes away, so they're not able to go together. Now, going throughout life, I also had to overcome a lot of struggles. Like, for example, at age 10, when I lived up near Chicago, I had to watch one of my best friends become involved in gang violence, and there was nothing I could do to help him. I'm going to go through everyday struggles that you guys go through, getting up for chapel in the morning, trying to get to the calf on time, basically being on time to anything. And then there were even some weeks, I grew up pretty poor, so there were some weeks that I didn't even know if I was going to have dinner. But now here we are. But if we take a look at Jesus now, he also struggled throughout his life. And in fact, a lot of the struggles that Jesus went through, I think we can connect to as well. Now, sometimes I think that each day we go throughout the struggles of life and we let the stress and the troubles that come with that become so overwhelming that each day we think it just gets worse and worse and we can't overcome it. I know that sometimes I feel like there's no one around me who can understand the troubles that I'm going through. But little did I know that my Jesus, he struggled just the same. For example, Jesus had trouble contemplating what it was going to be like to have to give up his life on the cross. In Luke 22, he says, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done." An angel from heaven appeared to him and straightened him, and being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. So now Jesus, he was scared of being the one who had to give his life. He prayed so hard to God and was still in anguish. He had anxiety for what was to come to him. Jesus knew what it was like to be judged based upon who he was. The Romans and some of the Jewish people, they engaged in gossip, lies, and backroom deals. Just everything to make sure that Jesus would be the one to be hung on the cross, even though there was no real case against him. And Pilate even knew this, that there was no case, but he wanted to make the people happy, so he chose to crucify Jesus and let Barabbas go free. And then finally, on the cross, Jesus also felt this struggle of thinking that God was far away. He says, my God, why have you forsaken me? Jesus felt that God was nowhere to be seen or heard or felt, just as many as us do. He understands that struggle. However, we can see now that God is always close to us. Now, Carl from the movie and myself and Jesus have all felt the struggle of life. The ins and outs that have gotten to us have made us feel like life is pointless. But the thing that keeps us going is the purpose. If you look at the media, the TV show, journalists, movies, whatever we see on TV and on screens and listening, people say that the purpose of life is to be healthy and happy and to own all this great stuff. But I believe that is wrong. But don't get me wrong, I want my family and my friends and myself to be healthy and happy. But the problem is that, sadly, that won't always happen. We won't always be healthy and happy. So it's going to come and go, even for those that are close to us and that we have relationships with, our significant others. Personally, I strive for that too, but it doesn't always come easy. So that's why we need our purpose. Now, to find our purpose, for starters, we have to remember to take care of ourselves. It's mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. We need to make sure that we are in our place every day, so that our actions won't hinder us in our search. And if we do not make sure that we are okay, then we cannot truly find our purpose. So then, what do I think the purpose of life is? I think it is to serve God and others and to glorify God. Now this changes from person to person based upon who they are and how they want to serve or how they glorify God. And that's okay because we're a diverse human race. So doing this shifts the focus from ourselves to others and to God. This results in a peace, a better perspective, better priorities, and a better sense of purpose. If we focus on who matters to us, then the why will come. We must break away from the norm. And this talking dog, one of my favorite characters, is named Doug. Now Doug breaks away from this group of other talking dogs, and he does the right thing, making him one of the heroes in the movie, one of my favorite personally. So I think that when we are serving others, we are serving God. When we break away from the norm, we can truly serve. And when we are serving, we are more likely to find that health and happiness that can come more likely that we can't find in material goods or in insignificant relationships. So when we understand the struggles of life, we can then help others overcome those struggles. When we know what we've been through, then we can help others as well. And at the end of the day, though, I must also remind you to enjoy life, that it comes and goes quickly. So when you're going out and serving others, enjoy your time. Take time to grow closer to those who are significant. You take time to do something fun, to take a walk in the park, read that book. So just remember your purpose, overcome your struggles, and enjoy life.